Being the first Black Rockette and breaking that glass ceiling, I feel so honored to open the doors for so many Black women, and I stand on the shoulders of the Black women who auditioned year after year, and they were denied access just because of the color of their skin. This was my first Christmas show, Christmas in New York. This was my dressing room. Oh my gosh, I look so young in that picture.
You were so precious. This is another Christmas scene,
This
right?
is another Christmas in New York, and this is actually the picture that I have on my memoir.
You were the first Black Rockette. Who are the Radio City Rockettes?
The Radio City Rockettes were founded in 1925 in St. Louis, Missouri by Russell Market. And he thought if he could get a line of women who were taller and could tap dance and kick high, he'd knock the American people's socks off.
In your memoir, you said smashing through the glass windows and paving the way for others requires a special blend of bravery and perseverance. What encouraged the bravery, and did you know that it was worth it to persevere through that?
When I was studying dance in New York, I did not know who the Rockettes were. I had a colleague that said, "Jen, the Rockettes are having an audition. You would make a great Rockette." I decided to go the morning of. When I got there, the music hall was draped with the most beautiful women I had ever seen. And I got at the end of the line, and I thought about leaving so many times, but there was a voice inside me that said, "Stay," and I did, and it changed my life.
What were your thoughts going into that line?
I did not know the history of the Rockettes. It wasn't until I was introduced to the line that I would learn the history about the Rockettes and what Russell thought if a colored girl were on the line, that it would distract from the uniformity of the Rockettes. He wanted 36 women dancing on stage, looking as one dancer, and having a Black woman on the line would distract. And for the first maybe 4 years, I think I was by myself. There wasn't another Black woman until 4 years later.
It's so interesting to me how he wanted everybody to blend in. Did you feel the need to blend in, and if so, how much?
I did ask my first Christmas show for skin-colored tights. The dresser yelled at me so loud, "You're not getting those tights. This is the costume. If you don't like it, you can leave." I just quietly got dressed and went to prepare for my performance. It wasn't until a few weeks later where the skin-colored tights did come to me, but now on the line, they're matched to every single Black woman's skin tone perfectly.
When you have situations like that, what's the mental space you have to be in going in that? And is that something you were accustomed to being a dancer in general?
Because my love of dance and because no one was allowed to take away what I wanted in life. I went out and I did a great performance in front of 6,000 people, and I got to live my dream. This picture is, I think, one of the most prominent pictures because it has me and it has the first Asian Rockette, Setsuko Marahashi. She was so welcoming towards me, and she made it a point to tell me that I am the first Black Rockette and she is the first Asian Rockette. She made that very clear on the first day of rehearsal. She came up to me and said that. So this is a rare photo of us together.
From your fight and your victories, you have become a serial entrepreneur. And you have a children's book, a doll, and now a memoir. Can you tell me about the creation of all of those?
So my children's book came out first, and I just thought it would be so great to have a child be inspired, by my story. But I think the last sentence in the book is my favorite. And I hope it sparks a conversation between a parent and child of what the child wants to do in the world. There are so many stories like mine all around us. Stories of people who found the thing that they love doing the most and never let go of that love. Stories about families and communities that help us discover where we belong. What will your story be? The world can't wait to find out.
I want you to kind of deliver a message to your younger self.
I would tell my younger self that my thought process was always on the right track. For that little girl who was standing at the backstage door who wanted to go after that, to keep going. But I think another part that I would say to my younger self, that there would be so much negative feedback, to disregard that and push forward.
If you could go back to those days, would you change anything?
No, not a thing, because it brought me to where I am today. I loved being backstage. I loved sitting in front of the mirror, putting on my red lips and my costume, and then going on to that great stage of Radio City Music Hall in front of 6,000 people every show is a dream. And to dance and perform and smile and doing something that made my heart sing, I loved it.